Before we jump into this episode, please subscribe wherever you're listening so you never miss a new episode with a great guest. We would so appreciate it if you could also leave us a review. And of course, if you enjoy this episode, share it with a friend. Welcome to the Powerful Ladies podcast. I'm Cara Duffy, and today's guest is actress, writer, producer, and now beauty entrepreneur, Rebecca Rittenhouse. I've had the pleasure of working with Rebecca on the launch of this business, and launching a beauty business is no joke. So we go back to Rebecca as, Hollywood celebrity. You've seen her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Mindy Project, Maggie, and Running Point, to name a few. And it's always so interesting to me, and I hope for you as well as listeners, as why do people, celebrities in particular, launch these other businesses when they're already so busy and they seem to be just piling on more things? As someone who's also a multipreneur, I understand the drive and crave to produce more things and create more things. If that's how your brain works, it just kind of keeps happening. But I really wanted Rebecca to share what it's like to launch this business in particular. There's such a phenomenon of celebrities launching things in skincare and beauty. They make it look really easy, and beauty is one of the hardest businesses to launch. It's super challenging. There's a lot of steps, a lot of things to overcome. And Rebecca's really busy, so I'm really curious about how she does it all. And we also get into really important launch topics: funding, teams, time management, the challenges and lessons she's learning along the way, and why she has a pull to create this brand. But also, maybe more important, why is being an entrepreneur, in addition to her already extensive creative resume, so important to her? She's lovely. I hope you really enjoy this episode and also get some great takeaways for whatever you may be thinking about launching in your own world. Welcome to the Powerful Ladies podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I'm very excited you're here because you have quite the big month that you are in the middle of and about to be launching into. And it is like the start of I feel like, of 15 other things that are big and significant that are coming through.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, let's tell everyone your name, where you are in the world, and what you're up to.
My name is Rebecca Rittenhouse. I live in Los Angeles, and I am starting a brow-focused beauty company. I'm launching it in 6 days. So, yeah, that's where we are.
That is not the only thing you do. You have many other things going on.
Right, yes. I am also an actress and a producer, and I write as well, and I am getting married in November. So the project management has been a lot over the last few months, especially this last month. It's like, everything comes to a head right before you can sort of sharpen the axe, and then the month of, you just have to really execute. And I've already learned so much of what not to do next time around. So yeah, it's been a lot, and definitely having a lot of 5 a.m. cortisol wake ups with my to-do list floating through my brain. It's all par for the course.
Well, especially someone like yourself that has so many careers and interests and new ideas and opportunities that come your way. Even if you were trying to be like, we're not going to launch anything new, you had a situation where a new opportunity came up that you couldn't say no to, didn't want to either. Yeah. So, in the world of acting, writing, producing, there's not a schedule that's very controllable.
No, there definitely isn't. And being on set is always, it kind of requires your full attention. And sometimes you're filming places where you don't have Wi-Fi, which is a crazy, crazy thing when the customs broker needs an answer on something ASAP, So it was definitely a very wild couple of weeks, this last 2 weeks, filming this pilot for Hulu, which I'm very excited about and was super fun. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot going on.
I've been thinking about how you were mentioning that there wasn't Wi-Fi. I'm like, did they do that on purpose? Did they want you guys so focused that you couldn't do other things?
I really don't think so. I think it's just sometimes when you're renting a house, to film in, I think it's a lot of people trying to get on a Wi-Fi network, or
Yeah.
the homeowners might not want you to use it, etc., give away their Wi-Fi password. I don't know. It's like all of those things kind of combined together.
Yeah. Well, the main reason that you're here to talk today is to
Yeah.
talk about Privet Beauty. And, it's you are known for having incredible eyebrows. So
Thank
it makes
you.
sense that you're launching in the eyebrow space first. But what made you feel brave, audacious enough to be like, you know what? Like this product is missing. There needs to be a new beauty brand and I should make it.
I think there are a lot of answers to that question. And I think some of them are personal and some of them are marketplace driven. And if we start with just the business side of it, I think brows are a very personal, preference driven area. And as I thought about it, I felt like they were often getting not totally overlooked, because I think people do love eyebrows. But sometimes when I think about the cosmetics that are available for them, some of them seem to be an afterthought, or like a sort of this is good enough type of thing. And when I think about the variety that's available in terms of mascara for creating a different look or for people's specific needs, like, do you have really short eyelashes? Do you have really straight eyelashes? Do you have super long? Do you have fine? Do you have thick? Do you, of course, like, it's hair, so it's so personal, it's different for everybody. And I don't think that's the case with brows. And I think same in hair care. There's lots of variety and lots of different types of products, which is great. And I haven't seen that as much for brows. And then personally, I wanted something that was a clean formula that was good for my brows, that I was going to be using every single day, especially knowing how people tend to lose hair as they get older. And maybe I'll develop something that is not going to contribute to that problem. Because some of the products that I loved, once I learned that was in them, they performed really well to hold or whatever. But once I learned what was in them, I was like, oh, maybe this isn't great to be using every day. Sure, once in a while, like, pick your poison. But
Yeah.
I saw that there was a space there. And then on another personal level, being an artist is a very crazy path. And I think, during the strikes, it was a really eye-opening experience, because we'd been through COVID and then we went through this additional industry shutdown. And I didn't like feeling like I wasn't in charge of my career and I wasn't in charge of my life. I really, really, really didn't like that feeling, because I'm the type of person that always needs to be moving, always needs to be working. I'm not really okay with sitting around and waiting for the next thing to come to me. And I got really, really depressed, and I had to think about the message, the information that I was getting from myself and what I needed to do about that. So I decided to start this business. And, obviously I think if you're going to start a business, it has to be something that you care about and that you're interested in and that you're passionate about. Like, I wasn't going to start a windshield wiper company. I just don't care about that.
Yeah.
So, you have to pick and choose. But then most of it's really just about follow through and consistency and commitment and showing up for yourself and what you're building every day, even when you don't want to, or you're exhausted, or you're having a crisis of confidence, which happens a lot. As you've heard many a phone call with me where I'm like, what the heck am I doing? And I think that more than anything is something that I'm really, really grateful for, because I haven't launched yet, but in a way, I think I've proved to myself that I can make things happen, that I have agency over my life, and that I don't have to wait for other people to give me opportunities. I can make them for myself.
It's such an empowering feeling when you have that authority, because as you mentioned about being an artist, when it feels so out of control, you need something that you can have that authority over and make sure that you're driving the life that you want to have. I'm always surprised that more artists don't have their own businesses in some capacity and don't have other things that can be predictable and reliable in some sense. All businesses, right, have their unexpected moments, but there's a big difference in where do you have authority versus where do you not. And I think I'm like you, where I'm someone who doesn't want to not be in control of getting to where I would know I want to go.
100%.
You know, you've learned so much in this process and you continue to do so. A beauty brand is no joke. There's so many extra steps versus any other kind of tangible product that you could mention. It's like beauty and food are the ones that have the most hoops to jump through. You know, how are you proud of yourself for, you know, what you've done and what you've learned and figured out in the past, what, almost 2 years now?
2 years. I mean, and probably even longer since I really started thinking about what I was going to do. Because I've kind of always known that I was going to start a business. I just didn't know what it was. And for a long time, I thought maybe it was a production company and maybe that's still ahead for me. But I just kind of always knew that I was going to do something like that. And then the circumstances propelled me forward. But in terms of what I'm proud of, this is a hard one for me. I actually have to like stop myself and try to remind myself to be proud, because it really does feel like a constant game of whack-a-mole when you're building a company. You're just like, okay, what's the next problem I'm dealing with? But I think one thing I would be proud of is just, you know, the stick with itness that I've, you know, built something from absolutely nothing. And you know, of course, I had you and I had some amazing freelance people that have really helped me, but I don't have a business partner. I don't have outside money. Like, I really did this myself. And so I think figuring everything out and sticking with it and knowing that everything is figure outable has been something that I'm really, really proud of, because I do think you're like, okay, well, I figured that out. I can probably figure out most things. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go like build a rocket tomorrow, but like, I mean, I probably could figure it out if I wanted to. It might take me 15 years, but at least I know that, you know, and I am proud of that now to really feel like, oh, I can do anything that I really set my mind to.
I mean, if Richard Branson can have his own rocket ship, I think you can too.
Yeah.
So. You spent so much time in developing this product. What makes it unique versus other things that are in the market today?
Well, it's an interesting question because, like you said, with beauty, there's a lot of extra steps, and food as well. But even within that, I chose a product that has even more steps, which is with a product that has a wiper and an applicator. So mascara is a similar situation where it's called the mix. So it's basically the way the wiper wipes formula off of the brush and then how much formula is left on the brush. So that's its own world of like development where you need to get that right. It's not just like, oh, you can pump out in your hand and whatever. It's a dollop of formula. It's not like that. One thing about my product is I think the mix is really nice. I really like it. It's very buildable. I find with a lot of brow products, you get too much goop on the brush and then you're trying to like work it through your brow in a disorganized way. And then I don't like that. So I like the mix of my product. We have amazing ingredients in the product and a lot of ingredients, more ingredients than pretty much any similar product I've seen, like more good ingredients, not filler ingredients. And I think that the texture of it is just lovely. Like it holds really well, but it's super light. And you like if I furrow my brow, I don't feel it sort of crunch.
Crunch.
Yeah, it gives this, it's just like a very light product that still holds, and you can layer it, which is an amazing thing. Like there have been so many days when it's 4 o'clock and I'm finally getting to the gym and I pull my sports bra over my head and I mess up my eyebrows and I just add more, and there's no flaking, there's no issue with it. And that for a clean brow product is not easy. All of those things I think make it a very special starting point.
And for people who aren't familiar with it, is this something that sculpts, gives volume, does color? Like, how would you use it?
So I'm not a huge fan of colored brow gel. So my hero product is clear. It holds your brows, so it does sculpt them. Creates a feathered effect. You can see I'm wearing it now.
Lovely.
That's a Privet brow right there. Yeah, it really is a setting serum. So it's full of B vitamins, peptides, and then has a lot of plant-based ingredients like go-to cola and photai and caffeine and EGCG and many others that are good for your brows. And yeah, it's a special product, and it's developed in Korea, which is a very innovative place for eyebrows, which I already knew. But interestingly, I was speaking with a product development guy out of Germany yesterday for another product I want to develop, and he was like, "Oh, well, we don't really do that. We're like not quite there yet, but I know Korea's doing it." And I'm like, it's so funny. Like I already started in the best place, you know.
There's so much with the Korean beauty trends across all categories. I mean, I can only imagine. I'm curious if they're tracking it, like the impact that TikTok has had on Korean beauty sales, because I feel like that's all that shows up in my feed sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get it. It's so funny. I have a friend who lives in Seoul. She's a Korean, obviously, and she's like, yeah, well, we're really vain, so we have the best products. It's like, I love that you just throw that out there.
Yeah. Well, now I saw a YouTube channel where a woman travels to different countries to get like a full day or 2 days of services that they're known for. And she did 2 whole days of like this beauty tourism for Korea. It's
a huge
also
thing
crazy.
now. Yeah, totally. I mean, their store that's sort of like their Sephora, but it has makeup, but it's a lot of skincare, called Olive Young, is the most fun place on the planet. I was there when I was, developing this product, and I basically brought an entire carry-on suitcase full of masks and skincare things. To be honest, I'm not even sure if I knew what I was buying, but I was just like, I'll figure it out later. I gotta try all of this.
Were you someone who like was always beauty oriented? Like if you got a fashion magazine, would you jump to that section?
Well, not necessarily in terms of like magazines, but in middle school and high school and even through adulthood, like I've done a lot of my friends' makeup for events. Like middle school dances, I was doing my friends' makeup. In college, I was doing it. Like I did one of my friends' makeups for my friend's wedding like 4 years ago. Like I just, it's something that I've always loved, and I'm still learning and getting better and better. And my friend Christina, who does my makeup for a lot of events, teaches me new things every day. She's really an artist. The way she works is incredible. But I learn new things from her all the time, and it's fun because you go back and forth with makeup artists, and you're like, oh, this is what I do with my face, because they need to learn your face too. And sometimes people like Jenna really has always just understood my face and makes me photograph really well, which a girl appreciates.
Yes.
So yeah, I've always loved it, and I've always like had a ton of makeup at my fingertips in my house, and these days I haven't had as much time to play around with it, but I do love doing makeup and making videos. I don't love editing videos, but I do like doing the makeup look and posting them. I wish I had time to do more of that. Hopefully Hopefully, Kara, once I can like hire an ops person, I can get back to more of the creative stuff.
More of the Rebecca brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Because right now I'm really in the weeds on things that probably take me much longer than someone who knows what the heck they're doing.
It's the hardest, I think, transition part for an entrepreneur when you are trying to maintain a budget and you have to do things that
Budget.
you what's that?
Where'd that go?
But you so even knowing that you're over budget, like you're still trying to be like, we can't hire someone yet, right? But I
Everyone's
know.
like, you need help. I'm like, I'm aware.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is the hardest jump, right? Where you're like, I need help. I don't want to do these things. I have to right now. And I think sometimes it's a good thing for an entrepreneur to go through because it's putting you in touch with some of the ops
100%.
in a better way.
I am so glad that I know every single part of my business. And I know I'll only know more as we launch and real numbers start coming through and stuff. But I really am so glad that I understand and can speak to every single part of my business. I think that's super important too.
It just gives you more power into being able to make strategic decisions. Otherwise, there's whole things happening that you don't even know are happening, and that can get really dangerous too.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you most excited about for your launch?
For my launch,
Yeah.
I was taking a walk with my dog today and I was like, I'm so excited to be able to develop more products. But I think for my launch, I'm really excited to be launching with Shopbop. I've been a fan of Shopbop since I was like 15 years old, before it was an Amazon company. And like, I remember like begging my dad to like let me order my prom dress off of Shopbop, and just thought it was so cool. So I'm really excited about that. I'm just excited for like people to, hopefully like the product and like the brand and want to invest in the brand and to think about eyebrows more thoughtfully.
Yes. Well, I think they are not thought about enough. Like, it's mine right now look almost invisible, and I did put product on, and you're like, what was it worth it? Yeah.
I know it's a lot of, I do think brows take a lot of like self-learning too, because you're like, what works for me and what works for other people. It's the thing about your face where like what works for other people really does not necessarily work for you, and you got to do some exploring. And so like that's what I don't want it to necessarily be with my product line that it's like, oh, this is the only brow gel. This is the only brow gel in the world. Like, I don't think that's true, right? Like, I am developing an extra strong hold brow gel that will be a very similar formula to what I've developed now, but with more polymers and more types of fixatives for people who are like I have fine hair. Like, my problem is that my hair like falls down, right? And it's like doing this weird thing here that's not cute. But like some people are like, well, their hair like will barely go where they want it to go. So it's like that needs to be thought about too. It's not like just like, oh, here's the only brow gel you'll ever need. No, people have different needs, like different hair. So
It's so true. So you mentioned you're excited about the launch, and then you're also excited about making new products. How quickly do you think new products are going to come to life?
oh gosh, Kara.
I
Well,
know I'm asking a trick question.
product development can take a long time. It depends on whether or not I'm happy with what's happening. I will say, like, I absolutely love my lab in Korea, and they're so nice to work with, and they just really care about the quality of their products. So I'm optimistic that the stronghold will be coming soon. And now that so much of the heavy lifting of like, how do I do this and figuring out packaging and requirements and all of that is like done, I think I can probably move that along faster, certainly within the next year. But then there's like a pencil that I want to develop that might take more time. So I don't know. I'm hoping I can develop or I can launch at least one more product next year, if not two.
Yeah. Hmm. You mentioned all the things that you're doing and how it's been really overwhelming lately.
That's all
How are
I
you
say to you, Kara. Is I just text you and I'm like, "Hi, I'm overwhelmed."
how SOS, what is this? But
Yeah.
I think you've been handling like it's a lot. It's like you and I looked one time and I think we mapped out like four actual like business pillars that you're managing at one time. And that's a lot. Like I have three
Hmm.
and I have an ops person and I have other team members. So
Yeah.
I really sympathize with like what you're dealing with. Plus, you have other things expected of you for parts of your business of like if I don't go to the gym, I don't lose,
Yeah.
access to one of
I
my
get
businesses.
stressed if I'm not
Yeah.
taking care of myself, and then it's not
Yeah.
good.
No one actually cares what I look like. So I can like if push comes to shove, I'll be like, screw it, we'll go tomorrow. Like
Right.
I don't have to be camera ready most days.
Yeah.
So you have extra pressures, I think, on top of what someone just managing four businesses would have. But what are you doing to take care of yourself as best you can?
That's a good
You're
question.
like just crying in a corner. It's totally fine.
No, you know what? I really decided actually at the beginning of this year. I'm not perfect at this, but like I really decided in the spring of this year, like I'm not going to like dissolve into tears on over any of this on a regular basis. Like that's just not helpful. And I really do think letting the stress get to you is it's not totally a choice, but it's your response is a choice. I think it's also allowing yourself to be a little bit comfortable with some mistakes or some things not happening perfectly. I think it's deciding most nights that you're cutting it off. I try to dinner seems to be pushing a little bit later and later, which is not my favorite thing, but something that really keeps me insane. It keeps me insane, by the way. That's the
Might be accurate.
my Freudian slip right there. Okay. That keeps me sane is walking my dog and cooking dinner and having dinner with my fiance. That keeps me sane. And I'm happy, if I really need to go back to work after dinner. But
Yeah.
having that pause where I like go outside, stop looking at my phone, and then do something with my hands, cook dinner, which
Hmm.
obviously there's tons of studies showing that doing things with your hands increases your I don't know which hormone it is, if it's dopamine or whatever it is, and the thing that gets drained, whatever gets drained in the day by your screens and your little Instagram life, that really helps me. I do think working late at night is really bad. I think it's like you have to give your brain time to shut down because I do notice it's harder to go to sleep the
Hmm.
later that I work. Having good sleep hygiene, so not working in bed, not looking at screens too much in bed, uh, and then going to bed and waking up at the same time every day.
Yeah.
Mornings are important to me too. I've been waking up a little bit earlier just so that I can like have my coffee and stare at a wall and not talk to anyone for half an hour if I need to.
Yeah.
I used to be like the type of person where I was like, okay, I have to leave at this time. So I'll like sleep to the max and leave myself 15 minutes to like, especially if I'm going to set, to
Hmm.
like, I'll just roll out, because you do hair and makeup on set. So it's,
Hmm.
you leave looking like trash and then you get professional help, which is great. But now, even now, I'm just like, no, I need to like sit and have my coffee at home, even if it's like dark.
Hmm. They're all important. You listed good ones. For me, waking up at the same time every day, no matter what day it is such a critical one for me. Because I told myself, listen, even if I need to take a nap later, like I need to get my body doing this rhythm by itself. It changes things because it's so easy to slide into, oh, well, my day doesn't start say until 9:30. And you're like, no, no, your day starts with you first.
Yep.
And it's so easy to sacrifice the things that we know we need before whatever someone else is expecting from us. But I am always amazed. Like there are many reasons why I don't think I would be a good actor, but one of them is that I could not do night shoots.
And they're hard,
It
yeah.
is so hard for me to stay like awake in general. Once it gets dark out, let alone to be staying up until 4, 5, 6 shooting all night.
Yeah,
Like I
night
do
shoots
not know how
mess you
people
up
do that.
for sure. And we didn't do any on this pilot, any real night shoots. I think the latest I worked on this was like till 12:30 or something. But I will say, like, set life messes you up in general. And I have to say, I it's my favorite place in the world to be on set is like when I feel the most alive. But it also messes you up. Like the food is weird. You're eating at strange hours, and then they're just like snacks all the time. There's just so many freaking snacks on set, and you're like, oh well, I have to shoot this scene, and it's 7 p.m. and so I should have a coffee, and then you're like, have a coffee, like it's a bad idea. But you just can't help it. Like it's just crazy. Like I don't. It's like an alternate universe. It's truly like you going to a wormhole when you're working through a wormhole. And yeah, it definitely has been an eye-opening experience for me shooting this pilot while this was going on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in need of some systems here that I haven't had in place before.
When you look at your acting career, what is a moment that you kind of credit for being a pivot for you? Like from it being a dream to like, oh, this is real and I'm working and this is incredible.
As an actor,
Yeah.
it was probably a long time ago now. I mean, probably when I got my first series regular job and I had to move to Atlanta, because before that when I lived in New York and I was in acting school, I went to the Atlantic acting school, and then I started auditioning. I was living in New York. I understudied a play, and then I got this job. But the entire time and through acting school, I was tutoring. So I was tutoring SAT and French and Spanish, and I would like go to school, and then I would go tutor kids at their houses after school, and then I would like go home and learn my lines. And that was probably the last time. But like that was a period in my life where I was also managing different brain buckets and feeling really just really like kind of overwhelmed and tired. But I was younger, so that made it easier too. But when I got my first series regular job and I had to like not be a tutor anymore and sort of give up that, which was a nice bit of income that made me feel safe to go do this series regular job and like really feel like, okay, I'm an actor now. And like, it does happen. You get these series regular jobs and you think, okay, this is what I do full time, and then you might not get another one for years. So it was scary for me to give that up, but I did, and moved to Atlanta. And I mean, that only lasted half a season or something, but from then on, I was like, okay, I'm doing this. We still had a pilot season back in those days, so there were more opportunities and a little more of like a regular schedule, which was nice in some ways. Not nice in others, but yeah, that would be the big moment, I would say.
Well, because even now, half of the auditions you're recording yourself.
Yeah, things have changed so much. Everything used to be in person. I would say self-tapes were maybe 15% of my auditions, and now self-tapes are 100% of them. So
that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Although I will say, that does make it easier for people to pursue this career, because you can have a regular job and make a self-tape, and then, maybe you get the job and you make a decision, or I don't know if you have to give up your position, but like the world is a bit more flexible now, which is a good thing. And you can sort of make your best work possible, put your best foot forward instead of Because sometimes you show up in that room and you're like, if you're having like an off day or something bad just happened and you're just like not there, you're just like not as focused, and you're just like, okay, well, that was it. I screwed up that audition. But with the Celtic, you have more control, which is nice.
Yeah. How else do you think the production writing side of the world is changing, especially in the past 5 years?
Well, there's been a lot less that's being made. I think we had a content bubble and maybe there was too much. And now maybe there's not enough. I think people are worried about how people consume content and whether or not, young people are going to really watch TV or if they're just going to watch short form content like TikTok on their phones, which I think is a valid concern. But I also think that social media is kind of isolating and movies and television is more, people watch shows together, they talk about shows together. And I don't know, there's something about social media that I just think has a different purpose and a different place in our lives. So, storytelling is just important. Like the hero's journey is important. So I don't know that that goes away. I feel more optimistic about that than I think some people, especially some people on the business side of the business.
Well, even seeing how many people have been sharing on social media about their watch parties for things like the summer I turned pretty. And like, that's what we used to do to like watch Friends or pick another show.
Yeah.
And so that makes me feel like good about things. I don't think the craving for good, real storytelling is going away.
I don't think it can. I think it's like something humans have always done.
Yes.
So I don't think that changes now.
I don't think so either. I think if anything, we need more examples of good stories.
Yeah, I think it's just a shift, and things, expand and contract, and that's a normal cycle. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the next 10 years, and the people that have sort of stayed in the business. I think we sadly like lost a lot of people in the last 10 years or 5 years as a result of everything that's happened. But the people who stayed, I think, have found a way to survive, and a lot of them are really great artists, and I'm really excited for what people are going to bring to the table in the next 5-10 years. I think it's going to be great.
I think the entertainment world is feeling similar things that other industries are about the shift happening from more corporate organizations to more people creating their own things. There being more small businesses who are making things happen because people want to. People are coming together to produce things. Even seeing how things like Hello Sunshine, right, are expanding what else they're creating and producing now. I feel more of that happening than the traditional model that we're controlling so many things for so long.
Yeah.
But it's happening everywhere. You're seeing the breakdown of less big companies, more small, more people getting to do things at maybe a more independent level, which might mean smaller budgets for things. And it also adds some more interesting components to it. It's a big thing in apparel and accessories right now. So I think it's just also a shift in how we work.
I think both things are happening simultaneously. Some companies are getting even bigger and, consolidating and just becoming absolute behemoths. And then other people are doing things more independently. I mean, people have access to the internet. They can put anything they want on YouTube. So, you can shoot a movie for nothing and put it on YouTube if you want. And like that is going to be a very real route forward. I mean, YouTube is like the number one viewed platform in the world. So I do see a lot of opportunity going forward, both from a traditional studio perspective and from this more sort of independent, bootstrapped indie thing.
We've been sponsoring Mountain Film Festival for a couple of years now. Like, I love documentaries. I love that storytelling approach. And I was in a workshop there where people are trying to figure out how to get picked up for their short films in particular. And I'm hearing them all talk about how much money you get if you, sell it to Netflix or Apple, and it's usually around 3K. That's like a great deal for a short film, apparently. I'm hearing that is with my entrepreneur brain going, that is so lame.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can truly put it on YouTube, sell tickets to it per viewer, and make 10 times that. But no one, like, it was really interesting to me how these people who are very independent and why they, like, independent in their subject matter, their topic choice, what they wanted to speak about, weren't looking for the alternative of, like, how to present it to people.
Yeah, I
And
think
I was
there's
losing
something.
my mind.
It's scary, and you want
Yeah.
like a Netflix to say to give you the
Validate.
validation. That's what it's really, I think, about. And
Yeah.
hopefully, I do think this new like Gen Alpha is like way less about that. I think as a millennial, I'm like, no, but I need them to approve of me, and I don't know that the younger kids feel that way, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I think this also is true within the beauty space, right? Like it's balancing, and we've talked a lot about this, balancing your direct to consumer approach and then balancing working with these retailers that give you access and marketing and credibility that can completely transform a business overnight. And you've been really lucky in having, a shop up as the launch partner and having your own website. And we've talked a lot about using your network and how most entrepreneurs don't use it enough to kind of get things moving forward. It's how Olivia and I, who I've met you through, like how we've been making all of that move. And no, I think I'm very excited to see what happens for you in the now through end of year, because you have truly so many major life milestones happening. Like you're going to be a different person come 2026 at this point.
For sure. I definitely feel like this year was some sort of like cosmic thing that I needed to go through, but also weirdly that I needed to prepare for, because 2022, 2023, 2024 were pretty quiet years for me. And there's this quote that I love that is something like, some years ask questions and others give you the answers, or something like that. And I definitely feel like there were some question years in there, and there were really not easy years to go through. And now I definitely feel like I've walked through a door, and I'm moving in a different direction, which is really exciting.
Yeah. Well, as we wrap up today, I have a few rapid fire questions for you. The first we ask everyone, where do you place yourself on the powerful lady scale? If 0 is average everyday human and 10 is the most powerful lady you can imagine, where would you rank yourself today and on an average day?
On an average day, I feel like I'm at a 6, maybe. On my best day, I maybe feel like an 8. But I think that's like, I'm not I don't think I'm the type of person that's gonna be like, I'm a 10 or I'm an 11. Like that is just not my, like where's the room for growth and improvement if you're like, I'm already there, you know what I mean?
I mean, this is maybe the most fascinating question from like hosting perspective. I need to take all of these answers and like give them to an anthropologist or a psychologist, because everyone's answer is so unique and can tell so much about where they are truly in the world geographically, what they're dealing with, like what they just overcame. We had a episode where I was interviewing women running NGOs around the world, and almost all of them were like, I'm a 12. Do you know how much stuff I'm dealing with every day that I make happen?
That's amazing. I love that. I love that confidence.
Me too. They yelled at me for like not picking 12 also. I was like, guys, calm down. Like I'm not like, we're fine.
Yeah.
When you hear the words powerful and ladies, how do you define them when they're on their own? And does the definition change when they're next to each other?
Oh my God, Kara.
Well, that was the truest clip also for everyone listening, that, oh my God, Kara, like that's what I hear on a regular basis. That's the phrase.
Oh my God. I mean, powerful is, that's a word that can go any direction. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, and anywhere in between. But I think when you pair it with ladies, it's only positive. So that is great. I'm a girl's girl. I went to an all-girls school. It made me who I am from 4th to 12th grade. I'm very grateful for that experience. And I will say that, there have been lots of lovely men that have helped me through this process, but it's really the women that, who are also founders, who have had or, do something that is related to, like, if it's event planning, or if it's just, I don't know, graphic design, or whatever it is, their expertise. Like, the women have really shown up for me in a way that has been powerful.
Yeah. For everybody who wants to support you, follow you, buy from Privet as soon as it goes live, where are all the places they can do that?
Okay, so they can buy it on privetbeauty.com. So that's privet-beauty.com. They'll also be able to buy it through Instagram, which is at privet_beauty. And they will be able to buy it on Shopbop, which is shopbop.com. Shopbop.
And if they want to follow you, what is your handle?
My handle is at Rebecca Rittenhouse.
Perfect. So our last question for today, this is a powerful, connected, and generous community. What is something on your to-do list, to manifest list, your wish list that you want that we can help either make happen for you, give you an answer, or hold space for you as you're making it happen?
I need help.
Like, I need all the help.
I need help. I really need, people. Like, I'm manifesting the right people coming into my life to help me manage all of these big things that I want to do, whether it's specifically Privet or even bigger than that. That's what I'm hoping for.
We need to manifest an integrator operations manager for you who can help you with all the things and all the ideas that I know are on your after Privet launches list.
Yes, exactly.
You are not stopping here. This is going to be one of many
Yeah.
products, one of many businesses.
Yes, and I think I'm very excited for the moment where I'm like, oh, this is handleable. This feels easy. This is not my first rodeo. It's like when everything is literally your first rodeo, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like, how am I messing up? What am I doing wrong? And it's like, I had breakfast with my friend Alyssa yesterday. She's the founder of Donnie, which is an amazing clothing company. It's Donni. I'm obsessed with everything she makes. And she was just like, she was like, it gets better. It also doesn't, but like, it gets better. Like, you'll be fine, and it's really nice to hear from other women who, by the way, like, she's children as well. So we're just doing everything and still showing up for their friends. Gives me hope.
I think it gets a little bit more predictable. I don't know that it gets easier because we're always expanding what we're up to. If you chose, you could have like a Coors business where you're like, I've got 2 products forever. We're going to make $1 billion. Thank you. Goodbye. That's actually a relatively predictable, smooth sailing option because you're just doing all sales and marketing. But people who are creative entrepreneurs like yourself are going to be like, what about another product? What about another country? What about a new brand? So it's more,
I mean,
I
already have 2 other businesses that I want to start. Yes. I literally already have 2 other completely different businesses, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you, Rebecca?
Yeah,
but I can't help it.
Yeah. And listen, you're preaching to the choir over here. So I understand. I actually celebrate it, but we do need to get you a CEO/operations manager so you can keep being your visionary self and moving at lightning speed, and they can keep up with you.
Seriously.
Well, thank you so much for being a yes to me and Powerful Ladies and sharing your wisdom and experience with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for thinking highly enough of me to include me in this. I appreciate that.
Of course. No, like you're taking on so many things and you are being brave on a regular basis and being uncomfortable. And
Yeah, I'm
I
definitely
think there's an
uncomfortable.
extra
I don't know
layer.
if I feel brave, Kara, but I definitely feel uncomfortable.
Well, I'm going to ask you to put brave in your giving yourself credit space.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's also different layers, right? When you are a known person and you have a whole acting career, writing, producing, you have a big, follower base. There's an extra layer of pressure of like making sure it's done right. And you've actually handled that really well because whether you had those things or not, you were already going into this business with integrity. And that makes it easy for, in my world, to support you versus having to fight with people to do things with the
Yeah.
integrity. So that never came up
Well,
in the
thank
whole time
you,
that I've known you.
Kara. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for listening to the Powerful Ladies podcast. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe and leave us a review or share it with a friend. Head to thepowerfulladies.com where you can find all the links to connect with today's guest, show notes, discover like episodes, enjoy bonus content, and more. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode and new amazing guest. Make sure you're following us on Instagram or Substack at Powerful Ladies to get the first preview of next week's episode. You can find me and all my socials at caraduffy.com. This is a Powerful Ladies production produced by Jordan Duffy and Amanda Cass. Until next week, I hope you're taking on being powerful in your life. Go be awesome and up to something you love.